Is that a lot of money?
Not at all.
Why
no.
not? Like what?
Because it's barely any of the full income, and I don't know, I feel like we could give a lot more.
Based on what, though? See, this is not an answer. You don't have answers to this, right? This is the first time you've ever thought about this, okay? There's no right or wrong, but you're suddenly saying, wait, hang on. It seemed like a lot of money, but now that it's only a little over 1%, maybe it's not very much money.
It's a lot of money. If you are a $1 trillion, country, or if you are a billionaire or a millionaire, 1% of your total worth is a lot.
Distance, okay? This is over time, so we're going up to 2023. $71.9 billion in 2023. Is that a lot of money?
That's a lot of money.
What do you mean by that? How do you assess that that's a lot of money in foreign aid? Like, what do you say that's a lot of money? What do you mean? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's your point of reference?
Considering it's in the billions and that high, I just view that as a lot of money.
Okay, that's cool. Just your first glance at that is that's a lot. Jaisal.
I can't comment on whether it's high or not. I think you can say it's high in comparison to 2021, but I'm not sure like how much the U.S. gives in aid to other countries, for instance. Like I know that this is talking because of Ukraine, there could be a boost in 2022 and 2023.
So if you guys don't know, this is Dr. Sam Richards. He runs a sociology course at Penn State University. And today he's talking about the United States giving, and I quote, too much money in international aid. This is an extremely important topic because, as you guys may or may not know, Donald Trump is not really the most giving president when it comes to international aid, especially in this instance to Ukraine. And this has been a very controversial talking point, but we're going to go over how much money the U.S. is giving and if it's on par with what we've been giving and so on and so forth. Let's not waste any more time and get right into the video.
But you can't arbitrarily state whether it's high or low without like comparing a baseline to what you're comparing it to, I think.
Well, let me ask you, okay, so let me ask this. Drew, what percentage of the federal budget do you think this is in the United States?
Probably like 12%.
What percent?
12 if I had to throw a number out.
12%?
Maybe less.
What do you think?
I was going to say like 18, 20%.
18 to 20%? Jaisal, how about you?
Like the entire federal budget? I think I would agree with Drew. Probably somewhere around like 10%, maybe. Slightly lower than 12, I would argue.
This is the foreign aid that the United States gave out in 2023. Do you think that's a lot of money? Foreign aid, that's aid we gave to other nations in the world. U.S. tax dollars.
No.
No? What percentage of the U.S. budget do you think this is?
Like 15, 20%.
15, 20%? So it's basically 1.1, 1.2% of the federal budget, okay? What's that mean? What's that mean to you? Like, it's about 1%. Now, is that a lot of money?
Not at all.
Why
no.
not? Like what?
Because it's barely any of the full income, and I don't know, I feel like we could give a lot more.
Based on what, though? See, this is not an answer. You don't have answers to this, right? This is the first time you've ever thought about this, okay? There's no right or wrong, but you're suddenly saying, wait, hang on. It seemed like a lot of money, but now that it's only a little over 1%, maybe it's not very much money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. If you are a $1 trillion, country, or if you are a billionaire or a millionaire, 1% of your total worth is a lot. It doesn't matter if you are million, billion, or trillion. It's a lot, and that money could be better served elsewhere. But the question to me isn't whether or not it's a lot of money. The question for me would be whether or not that money can be useful elsewhere. And I'm not saying it can necessarily be useful elsewhere. I'm saying that's what Americans are really looking at. They're looking at, can this money that we're spending here be better suited over here? Because 1%, I'm sorry, in my opinion, 1% is a lot of money. You're considering 1% of an entire country's spending. So that's my opinion, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
money, and we could give more. Of course, we could give more. So I'm just sort of watching your mind, where your thoughts go, because this is what's really interesting, is where do our thoughts go on these questions? Jazel, do you have an answer? Does it seem like a lot of money?
So what interests me about that graph is if you look before 2019, you actually have spikes that go above 1.17%. I'm not very informed on what was happening in the world before 2019, but there was a huge dip. I'm going to assume that the COVID-19 had something to do with this. But given the fact that it was higher than 1.17% pre-COVID time,
Yeah.
I would argue that it's pretty nominal, actually might be lower than what the U.S. was doing in the past.
Yeah, but listen, but it's not that much, really, relatively speaking. 1.4% down to, it still isn't a lot, relatively speaking. But nonetheless, okay. Bro, when you see that it's almost like 1.2%, what do you make of that? Given what you said, what you thought it was.
Zelensky didn't even get half that. Was my first thought, just the thing he said on TV that he didn't even see like half the money that we claim to have sent him. That's my first thought. Also, just that it's in my opinion, a whole percent too much. It should be like 0.017, if that much.
Okay, well, Tolo, how about, let me ask, what do you think this pays for? What do you think this money's going to?
Do I think the money's going to?
Yep, it's foreign aid. You hear this term wait, how old are you, 18?
I'm 19.
19, okay, so you hear this term foreign aid. Where are we sending this money? What's it paying for?
I'm not quite sure exactly.
Where do you think it's going?
I don't know, third world countries.
Yeah, okay, and what do you think it's paying for? What kinds of things do you imagine that we're spending this money on?
I think that's a very interesting question because honestly, I never actually sat down and thought about America giving foreign aid. It's not really something that I focus on a lot. Let me know what you guys think, because a lot of Americans support the foreign aid. A lot of people do not support the foreign aid. And me personally, I don't know where all of it goes. I actually want to know the answer to this question.
The military.
Military for one. Hold the mic really close.
Military?
Okay, what else?
Not sure.
Yeah? It's aid. Think about that. So hang on. Jazel, how about you? What do you think it's going toward? It's aid. Assistance.
Like ideally it would be going for shelters, things where like a country which has been impacted by some sort of like global pandemic or is going through certain problems and the U.S. has good ties with. They might be providing aid for those. So I would be thinking about shelter, food, possibly helping stabilize their economy in some way, and also like military defense. Like I mentioned Ukraine, so it could be possible that it helps with their like ability to defend for themselves.
Okay, so Tolu, like healthcare, food, aid, these kinds of things, shelter, building houses, okay. Anything else? What do you think is the biggest thing we're spending on?
Like out of this budget?
Yep.
Salaries.
Salaries?
Yeah.
What, and after that, but what's okay, salaries for sure, but what's it going for?
Like on paper?
Yeah, like what salaries people are working in what area?
Food, medicine, shelter.
Okay, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I was gonna say healthcare. Would be the biggest one.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. So these are this is, helping to create jobs and helping to move all sorts of things forward. Projects, building roads, building dams, building electrical grids, humanitarian assistance, healthcare, peace and security, right? And military was 11%. So this is, it's going to a lot of different things. So a little over 1% of our budget is going to a lot of different things, okay? How is that? Does that make sense? Does it feel like, okay, that's what we're doing? You're helping other people out in the world. You all, the four of you are paying tax dollars to this government, to your federal government. And your federal government takes that money and sends some of it overseas to help other people. Ariana, how is that for you?
Yeah, I mean, that sits right with me. I feel like we should help other countries if we have the money available to do so.
Well, people here say, well, we have a lot of problems in this country. Why aren't we helping people in this country?
I'd say I feel like they help our country and they help other countries the best they can.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the fires in Hawaii where they got like $700, and I think it was Virginia, I want to say, where they got like 500 for their wrecked houses.
Yeah, but hang on. That was 500. That was an immediate loan, like right away.
Right.
Okay. So you basically say, hey, I need some cash right now. Here's $500. Here's $1,000. That's not all anybody got.
Right.
Okay, that's the FEMA thing. But no, but that's really important.
I just mean more in the sense of like a lot of these developing nations that we're probably propping up their entire economy. And so theoretically we could invest that into destroyed areas of America.
Okay, and then what would these nations do who have a destroyed economy? Let's take something like Haiti. What would Haiti do then without any foreign aid?
Don't know.
Whose responsibility is it?
80?
Yeah?
I would say so.
Uh-huh. How about the countries where we've played a pivotal role in their history? Like a place like Guatemala, El Salvador.
Right, where we just went in and it up.
Yeah,
Like
in a manner of
yeah,
speaking.
like-
How about those countries?
I mean,
How about Haiti, where we went in and did that? But okay, go ahead.
no, I mean, it's a fair point. Like, yes, we're part of the reason that they're a third world country now. Mm-hmm. It is like it's a moral question. Do we owe it to them to try to fix what we did? And I mean, you could definitely say yes, but I mean, they're not America. Like, we shouldn't be. I don't think we should be propping them up.
Tolu. So you're Nigerian, right? You have family in Nigeria.
Yeah,
How often are they asking for money?
every day.
Yeah, what are they asking for?
They're asking for money just to feed the whole entire family, and every day, to help take care of their own kids.
So far, the young man on the right with the hat says that it's not America's responsibility to practically financially support other nations. That's exactly what he said. He said it's not our responsibility, and he implied that we should focus those funds on American places that have felt natural disasters. And that's been a big talking point for people who are anti-foreign aid, saying that money should be used for American national disasters. And here's what I will say. That's a fair talking point to have. Because when you see a natural disaster in America and you see people's not getting any funding for their houses and they don't have enough money to even feed their families because it got blown away in a hurricane, you do kind of want the government to step in and support them. And when you see that they're not getting all the support that they deserve or that you think they deserve, you do feel some type of way as an American. And it's not because you're just the most sympathetic. It is because you're sympathetic. It's also because that same person is your neighbor. They pay taxes the same way you pay taxes. And if you're paying $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a year in taxes and you can't even get you can't even get your home back that got blown away or can't get any assistance there, you will feel some type of way about it. I'm sorry, you will feel some type of way. So I definitely understand that perspective. The young woman also posed an interesting perspective, Ariana, who said we could also, as a nation, support Americans and simultaneously support other nations as well. That's a possibility. Outside spending is 1% of the federal budget, but it's all about perspective. Let me know what you guys think though in the comments.
To take care of themselves. Even my grandfather, he has dementia, just to get him the proper care that he needs.
So school supplies, uniforms to go to school, books, these kinds of
Clothes,
things,
everything,
medicine.
Yeah.
And how is that for you as an American now, right? So here you are.
Yeah.
Is your family, are you citizens or residents?
Citizens.
Citizens, okay.
Yeah.
So how is that for you? Like this is a form of foreign aid, right? That you are, you make money, you're funneling it off to your family members across the Atlantic?
I would say it's frustrating because we have our own problems down here, and we get that call quite often. But I understand like times are tough down there, and they just can't go out and make that easy money like we can down here. So that's why we always help out best we can.
So when you think about this foreign aid going to things and countries, and Nigeria gets money from the U.S., right? How is that for you? We're taking tax dollars from people here, and we're funneling that and sending it off.
Can you ask again? Ask me your question one more time.
Yeah. How is it for you when you know that, okay, we're taking these tax dollars and we're sending money off to nations, around Africa, around Asia, Latin America?
It's frustrating because where is my money going if they're still struggling?
If they're still struggling. Okay. That's interesting. About half of all foreign aid that we send out is tied. And let me explain what this means. That means like when we get farmers to grow, we're going to send wheat to Ethiopia. Okay? Well, where's the wheat come? Are farmers just donating that? No. We take tax dollars, we pay farmers for their wheat, and then we pay, U.S. transporters to transport that wheat to the granaries, and then we have to get it to the railroads, and then we gotta send it by rail off to the ports, and then we gotta send it on the port. We have to load it onto ships, and we have to send it across the world. And then once we get it across the world, we got to put it onto trucks or rail cars, and we got to send it to where it needs to go. And all of that is part of the aid process. Okay? And so about 50% of all this aid is tied, which means that, so we send this money, this is all these dollars here, these billions of dollars, we send it around here. Some of it goes to the recipient country, but the rest of it comes back around here. So it's tax dollars being spent on Americans who are producing the aid that we're going to give abroad. So about 50% of it is actually coming right back to this country.
I love the way Dr. Richards breaks stuff down because I didn't even know this. And this perspective is something that I haven't even considered. I didn't even consider this. But let me know what you all think about this in the comments below. Very good video, very good professor in my opinion. My name is Elafar Jojo, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.